welcome to today's reading. Today we have a love reading, the first love reading I'm putting on this channel. So if you're here, thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you find a pile that resonates with you. We're going to be asking what's currently going on in your love life. We're going to be asking what is coming next, if there's any advice, and we have love messages. I have two decks that I've created myself a while ago. One of them is like message cards and the other one is songs and lyrics. And then we also have love oracle cards, and yeah, there's just a lot to go over. We have 4 piles for you to choose from. All of them are going to be represented by a different cheek product by Benefit. Pile number 1 is going to be Georgia, which is a beautiful bronzy shimmery shade. Pile number 2 is called California, which is also a shimmery like coral. Pile number 3 is Dandelion, a shimmery light pink. And then pile number 4 is Hula, a nice warm to neutral bronzer. So go ahead and take your time, pick which pile is calling out to you, and I will have timestamps in the description below for you to choose from. So pile number 1, if you chose the Georgia blush, then this is going to be your reading. So we're asking what's currently happening in your love life. And the cards that came out are the Magician and the 6 of Cups. This tells me you're trying to manifest either an old person coming back, not an old person, but someone from the past coming back. Maybe even like trying to resurrect an old relationship, which is not always something that I'm going to recommend. Actually, I never recommend it. But yes, maybe you're trying to make that happen. Maybe you're just trying to get back this feeling that you had in the past of, a sweet young love, just nostalgic. You see the card is depicting a young boy with a puppy, and then a grown man with his older dog. So maybe you're in a relationship right now where you feel like you guys have kind of grown, and you're missing maybe that young feeling you had, or you're just reminiscing on what it used to be like. And maybe you're manifesting that you'll get back some of that young love. For your next stage in your love life, we have the Sun and the 2 of Cups. So I see a beautiful, wonderful, equal give and take, perfect union, partnership, full of love. As you can see, those 2 bowls are full of that beautiful rainbow water, whatever that is. And they're equal, and with the Sun, she's basking in those rays. This is a relationship where you're not too bright for them and they're not too bright for you, and you guys both can appreciate each other and your success. And maybe that is also what ties in that King of Pentacles over there. You're not intimidated by each other. This is just a beautiful partnership where you want to succeed and do well, and so you do. For your advice cards, we have 7 of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So maybe you have something that you need to get off your chest. Maybe you've been hiding your true feelings on a situation, or even from a person. So if this is somebody that you've known for a long time, even that you have been hiding feelings for, but now you want to be honest and come forth with the truth here and tell them that you actually have feelings and you would like to try out a relationship. I see that happening in a beautiful way. All you need to do is be honest. Share your true feelings. Babe, it bothers me when you leave the toilet seat up, or hey, friend I've, known since forever. I don't want to ruin our relationship, but I want to admit that I like you more than friends, I see the King of Pentacles. So your advice is to just stay stable, stay secure. Don't try to be dishonest. Don't try to gather all your swords while they're falling all around you and cutting up your arms and everything. Just be honest. You know, what's more stable than a guard dog there? Look at him, beautiful. Um, just be that King of Pentacles person that has enough. I'm abundant. If this person doesn't reciprocate, you're gonna be okay because you have it all anyway. But I see the Sun, I see the Two of Cups. So whether this is someone from the past, which I'm never going to guarantee will come back, um, or somebody new, I see you in a beautiful relationship regardless. For your message cards, oracle cards, your song card, we have Only Over You by Fleetwood Mac. The lyrics go, I'm out of my mind, but only over you. People say that I'm crazy, but they don't know. Maybe maybe you've talked to your friends about it. Oh, I have a crush on so and so. And they're like, what? Are you serious? No way. Like, that's crazy for you to even consider that, right? And you're like, but, like, I've never felt this way. I can't stop thinking about them. Maybe you have known them forever and you've never felt that way before. And now you do. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, what do I even do? And then we have My Ego Won't Let Me Speak. That could be you or them. Maybe you're so scared of what they might say, and so you don't say it. Or maybe it's them. They don't want to be rejected by you. And so maybe you need to make a clear sign that you're interested, Would you like to go out to lunch, just you and me, Then we have I settle for other people. That could be you or them. Maybe you're, um, you know, so unsure, or maybe they are. With that, my ego won't let me speak because you don't want to be honest about your feelings. Maybe you do settle for other people so that you aren't alone. I really want them, but I'll date you instead, and that's not fair to you or this person that you're with. So whether it's them or you can control your decision and your choices, but you can't control other people. So be honest with the situation, be honest with yourself, be honest with them. And then we have bite me. No, really. So you or them. Somebody here is fantasizing about the other one. Someone might like it a little rough. Someone might be wondering what it's like to kiss you and for you to bite their lip, or maybe you're wondering what it's like for them to bite yours or some other part of you. Either way, there's passion here directed at somebody. And then underneath that, if you want to live with me. So when I made that card, that is supposed to be like, if you want an exciting life worth living, then you should be with me. Let's build a life together, And so maybe you're looking, this is very like Taylor Swift, You Belong With Me, right? She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts, and you're with this basic, boring person, and if you were with me, we would be a cool, like, power couple, and we would, travel the world and do exciting things together, but you're with them instead, and so boring. And then we have, for your self-care cards, we have Be Still and Meditate. Maybe you need to think over the situation. Maybe it's been causing you a lot of anxiety, but you need to think about the best way to approach it. What should I say? What should I do? When should I say it? And, how might they respond? How might they feel? If you've been anxious and worried and going back and forth a lot, maybe it's time to say, quiet mind, it'll happen when it happens. Maybe you need to ask your guides for help, This Magician card is looking very similar to the Meditate card. Maybe that's you when you're trying to manifest. You have so much anxiety clouding up everything that you're not truly manifesting the right things, or you're just not manifesting at all. You're basically just creating a bigger blockage or more time, creating more time in between when your manifestation is supposed to get here. So then we have last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. So maybe you've come a long way. Maybe you're somebody who was always terrified of talking to somebody else. Maybe you were really scared of dating in general, but you have gotten to a point where you're ready You want to be brave. You want to make the first move, maybe. And regardless of what this card means, this this reading, someone in here wants you to be proud of yourself. Um, yeah, maybe you've truly grown if you're the King of Pentacles, right? Maybe you've built up kind of a legacy for yourself and your future family, and that's what your goals have been towards, and now it's time for love. So be proud of yourself and the work that you've put into being a loving person, being a successful person, whatever it is. You're very close to achieving your goal, Gibbous Moon. Yeah, so maybe you have been getting to know somebody. Maybe you've been kind of testing the waters to see, okay, are they waiting for me to ask them out? Do they, are they looking for a sign from me? If there's anything about earth signs, sometimes they need a very clear message, or at least the earth energy cards, right? They need a very clear message. Yes, I'm into you, Yes, I want you to make the move, right? So yeah, you're very close to achieving your goal. Your next step in your love life is the Sun, is the Two of Cups. So you're very close to having this wonderful, beautiful partnership, and maybe it's time for you to reach out. If you have been thinking about the Six of Cups person, right? And of course, hopefully this is not somebody that's broken your heart in the past. If this is just somebody, maybe an old friend, right? And you've had feelings for them for a long time, maybe this is your sign. Get out of your ego, be honest, share your truth, put down your swords, tell this person you like them so that you can get to the Sun and be the Two of Cups with them. You have mask, not showing true feelings, hide, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. Oh my goodness, what did I say? Stop hiding your feelings. Stop wearing that mask. One or both of you is wearing a mask and pretending you don't feel the way that you do, but you do. And girl talk. Time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. And this says, hello. Oh my goodness, what does that say? Hello, Kimmy? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Hello, Kim. You'll have to tell me if you know what that says. But maybe that's you, maybe that's them. Maybe somebody's enjoying being single. Maybe that's the problem, is there's somebody that's always been in a relationship and you've always had a crush on them, and you're like, I just really want to be with them now. And they're enjoying their single time, That's totally okay to give them time, especially if they've just been out of a relationship. You don't want to go back to back into a relationship with anybody. But maybe this is also you. Maybe you need to talk with your girlfriends, and and girl talk is just a way of speaking. Let's be honest here. Girl talk is just, so guess what, tell me what happened, like that's girl talk. Who are we beating up? Who broke your heart? Who stole your t-shirt? Whatever, your top, whatever it would be. And yeah, so maybe you need to have that moment with your friends and just be like, okay, I finally want to admit I like this person, right? And maybe they need to be the ones to encourage you and help you make that first move and ask this person out, or admit your feelings for them, right? With mask, maybe your girls are going to be the ones to say, okay, well, stop pretending, just be honest, But yeah, one or both of you is not showing your true feelings. And since I got Seven of Swords for advice for you, I'm assuming it's you. You're the one not being honest and sharing your feelings. So I strongly believe here the way that you're going to get to the Sun and the Two of Cups is by sharing your feelings. So if this is a current relationship you're in that you want to improve upon, maybe just bring it up to your girlfriends. This is what I'm having a problem with. I love this person that I'm with. I just want things to be better. And, but I keep hiding that this bothers me. And they're going to say, well, don't hide that it bothers you. It's always going to bother you. You need to fix it. If this is someone you're not in a relationship with, but you don't know how to go about it, yeah, maybe your friends need to be the ones to help you come up with that game plan. Tell them that you're into them. Tell them that you're interested. Um, tell them you've had these feelings for however long it's been. My goodness, yeah, I just really see you as somebody who's been into somebody for a while or with someone for a while, and you either want to improve the relationship and share something that's been on your heart, or you want to get with this person for the first time. If this is an ex, I don't encourage it. I don't encourage it. Um, it's not impossible for people to get back with someone from their past and to make up and to have a beautiful relationship, but I will say it's rare as can be. So only you can make that decision for you. Don't listen to anybody telling you to go back to an ex, okay? Now, I will say if this is like a childhood relationship, like junior high, right? Oh, we broke up because we were going to different schools. And, all these years I've wondered where they are. And then all of a sudden they're back in my vicinity and I want to catch up with them. That's totally cool. That's sweet. That's innocent. But I implore you, do not set yourself up to get your heart broken. It's always better to go for the new person if this is the case. And so, whatever you choose, I see the sun, I see the Two of Cups. Pile one, your love life is looking beautiful. You just have to open up and share your feelings. And yeah, be stable and secure. You're already that King of Pentacles type of person. So, your advice is to stand in that energy. It's been so fun reading for you. I hope you do like, share, and subscribe. And please comment below what pile, well, this is pile one. So please comment below if it resonated, what part resonated the most. And I hope to see you in a future reading. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Right, pile number 2. So if you chose the California Blush, then this is your reading. So today's reading is all about love. Whether you're in a relationship, looking for a relationship, just wondering about your love life in general, this is going to hopefully answer a few questions that you have. So I asked the question, what is currently going on in your love life? And we received the Novice of Clouds and the Master of Clouds, curiosity and intellect. So this is represented by the Page of Swords and the King of Swords. So this could represent two people. This could represent just, your inner thoughts. Maybe there's something that's on your mind that you want to talk to somebody about. Maybe you're in a relationship. As I was pulling cards for this pile, it was kind of giving me, maybe you're already in a relationship and you're wanting to improve on it, So with the Page of Swords, maybe there's something you want to say and you're really not sure how to say it. And so maybe that's what's currently been going on for you. Maybe with the Master of Clouds, you do know what you want to say, in your head. Intellect, you're smart. You know what you want to say. You know what needs to be said even. But with Novice of Clouds, that's what came out first, right? Maybe this is how you keep manifesting these things. The intellect is really nice how it's depicted here with the cloud inside the crown, which is, kind of telling us it's in your head. And then here, he's just pinching a little cloud with his fingers. So maybe also at the same time, this thing in your mind is a lot bigger than it is, but it seems so big in your mind because it takes up all that space. But then once you're holding it out here in your hand, it looks quite small. It's not as big of a deal as you thought, And so yeah, maybe that's what's going on. There's something that you want to say and there's a lot to say, and you just, every time you try to say it, it comes out wrong. And instead of saying the big picture of, I want to go to Paris this summer and stay at this hotel and eat at this cafe and do this, maybe instead you keep saying, oh, it'd be nice to go on vacation. Oh, can you imagine the Mediterranean, huh? Or like whatever it is, right? So, not to, maybe that's a bad example, because not to say that you're being passive aggressive or anything, but maybe there is something going on in your head. Swords is anxiety to me. Swords is thinking and not taking a ton of action. And so, yeah, maybe there's something you've been thinking a lot about and you're like, do I do this? How do I say this? You know, what should I do? And then we have what is coming next in your love life. We have emotional stability with the Nine of Cups. We have the Six of Swords, transition, moving into calmer waters. So I see perhaps you're nervous about this conversation that you want to have, but it seems like it's you that wants to have it, or clearly there's some sort of conversation that needs to be had. I see you having success with this and moving into emotional stability and calmer waters, and going from maybe things have been turbulent and now they won't be, or things have been confusing and now they will be clear. Emotional stability, right? Nine of Cups is like emotional fulfillment. You're, oh, like, I got my point across and it landed perfectly well, Yes, I see the next stage in your love life being peaceful. It's peaceful, it's stable. You're heard and seen and understood. There's lots of purple here with those swords, which is just beautiful to look at. But yeah, maybe it's you're seeing eye to eye. Your thoughts are being translated in the way that you need them to be. When I ask for your advice cards, I get the Tower card, upheaval, followed by the Eight of Gems, hard work. I asked for a describer card. And so maybe you need to work. You might be my pile that again is already in a relationship, and maybe there's some work that needs to be done. The Tower is not telling you here to break up. The Tower is saying you need to take down that wall that has mold in it. You need to remove this misunderstanding and clear up what was misunderstood. You need to be truthful here with a situation and put in the hard work. That's your advice to get to the emotional stability and transition. Sometimes you have to take down half of the house and rebuild it. But that essentially is the advice here. We're going to take these two as a 2-for-1 here. Do some hard work here. You need to rebuild. You need to have a little refurbishment done. One of our rooms was built up wrong and we need to rebuild it. We have generosity. Yeah, maybe you need to be generous with this person that you love. Maybe you need to be generous with yourself. Maybe it's been difficult getting to this point where you can share your thoughts, your anxieties maybe, and you need to be generous with yourself. You did good. It's okay that it took some time. The Six of Pentacles is balance, right? I give and you take, and then you give and then I take, and it's an equal give and take balance. We want to communicate equally. We want to give equally. We want our love to be equal. I don't want you doing all the emotional labor while I do all the practical labor, and then we're, stuck feeling like one of us is always, stuck doing everything. Whereas if we both shared the load a little bit, I just have to be emotional half the time, and then you get to do it the other half, and we share the practicality and the logistics, and we meet in the middle. And maybe that's just that's the advice is it takes work from both sides. So again, if you're in a relationship and you're just going through a hiccup, I see you overcoming this. You just have to have a hard conversation maybe. And sometimes a hard conversation isn't really that difficult on the surface, but it's difficult for you. I see you as someone that's maybe anxious. Maybe you've been having a lot of anxiety about your love life, your relationship. And the only way to get to emotional stability, maybe if you're single, is to do some inner work and take out that part of your brain, review that room that keeps telling you, oh no, I have to be in a relationship, or I'm going to be unhappy forever. Maybe you have to take down that room and build up something else that says, I am secure within myself, and the right person will come along when it's time, and I do not need to compare myself to everyone else. Be generous with yourself again. Um, Acknowledge any feelings, right? Be be true to you. Be true to this other person. Share your feelings. If there's something you're keeping close to your chest, maybe that's something that's been keeping you anxious and in your head, and what you've been nervous about and thinking through back and forth. Maybe you need to finally share your feelings with this person. The King of Swords, again, he's someone that knows what he wants to say, but this Novus of Clouds is someone that doesn't really know how to say it. So get out of your head. Yeah. For your oracle cards, your message cards, and your song card, we have Strictly Reserved for You by Charles Bradley. That's a wonderful song. So maybe there's someone that you have just been in love with for a long time, and maybe you are going through a hiccup, and you're like, look, it's just you and me. I'm not ever looking elsewhere. I don't want anyone except for you. I'm reserved for you. It's a beautiful song if you haven't heard it. Maybe this person is feeling this way about you. You're the only one for me, Let's just forget the whole world. It's just you and me. For your message cards, we have it's really just a love song. So maybe it's been kind of a confusing time. Maybe things don't really make sense to everybody, but it makes sense to you. At the end of the day, our long journey, it's just a love song, right? The ups and the downs. We need a bridge. We need a chorus. We need a new verse. And maybe this is just a stage in your relationship. It feels like things are changing, but that's just what life is, right? We grow together, we change. A song has to build up to a crescendo before it can get back to the chorus, We have You Don't Like Me, ... Or so maybe someone is feeling confused, some mixed signals. Maybe they think that you don't like them. Maybe you feel like this person likes you sometimes and then doesn't like you sometimes, and you're feeling like back and forth energy. This doesn't have to apply to everybody. Whenever you read any tarot reading or listen to any, you just leave and take what you want, okay? Anything that makes sense to you and anything that doesn't, just let it be that way, decide. So if you know for sure you love someone and they know for sure you love them, this is not for you. But maybe you're going through this unsurety moment. If you are sure, you should speak that. If you're unsure, maybe you should explore why. I need time. That could be you or them. Again, there seems to be some anxiety about something and you need time to maybe put your thoughts together. Maybe you need to write a little script for yourself. Figure out what it is you want to say, how you want to say it. I'm manifesting you. So you could be manifesting this best version of this person, or maybe they're manifesting you. Maybe you're not in each other's lives and you're trying to manifest coming back to each other, or it's a new person and you're just like, please, anyone, I need a good new person in my life, come forward. That could be true too. Then we have write a gratitude list. So maybe you have had trouble, I'm hearing maybe you have a hard time sometimes accepting your own good qualities. Maybe you need to write down, I am good at speaking. I am good at braiding hair. I am good at knitting, whatever. Maybe you need to say, I'm thankful for this in my life. I'm thankful for this person. I'm thankful for this thing I get to do. I'm thankful for this job that I happen to have, Write a gratitude list. Count your blessings. We have hydrate. So maybe you have been neglecting your hydration. Maybe you've been neglecting your health in any sort of way. When we think of hydrate and the cups, this is also like love. We think of, maybe you need to fill up your own cup with your own love for yourself. Maybe you need to accept love from your person. Maybe it's been a long time since you've like opened up or whatever, And then we have full moon in Pisces, forgive. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you need to forgive someone else. This could be from the past. This could be from the present. This could be your person. This could be a past person that's holding you back from loving your current person. Sometimes we get our hearts broken, or we get, abused. We have trauma, and it keeps us from being our true selves and opening up again, and it's difficult. Maybe full moon in Pisces is asking you to move on from something, even though it's never going to completely go away. It doesn't change the fact that it happened, but you can decide that it's time to forgive and not let it weigh you down. And at the same time, I just want to say, if you don't want to forgive someone who hurt you, you don't have to. It is your life, and if they hurt you, they're the bad guy here. It's not on you. Don't let your past hold you back. So yes, maybe there is something in your past that is keeping you from being honest with yourself or someone you love. Maybe we have something, maybe that's the anxiety. You want to talk about a past situation, a past relationship, something that happened to you and you're not sure how to go about it. And it feels like a tower moment for you to admit something happened, to bring up a problem, to, admit or have a conversation. But with 8 of Gems, to explain the tower, it is hard work. It's hard work to open up. It's hard work to be honest. It's hard work to admit something went wrong before. But I'm seeing that this is going to be, that's the ticket, This is the ticket to get here. This isn't a consequence. This is what you need to do to get here. You need to rebuild that room in your house that's not quite right. I really don't feel like this tower moment is a completely breakdown everything, but maybe this is something, this past experience of yours, maybe they will see you differently now, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they've always seen you as someone who had it all together, and you've barely been dangling by a thread, and you just really need them to finally see that you struggle too, that you've had problems too, that maybe whatever hang up or issue in your relationship that has you, oh, I need time, and has somebody thinking that there's mixed feelings. Maybe this is the thing that's holding you back, and bringing it up and going over it is what's going to get you emotional stability and into calmer waters. For your love oracle cards, we have self-indulgence, focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. And then we have palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. So self-indulgence, maybe you need to do some self-work. Maybe, again, this anxiety, right? Maybe this thing, if you're not in a relationship, maybe there's something that's been holding you back, and it's this anxiety, this past person, this past experience, and or even inexperience, I'm hearing, right? Maybe you've never been in a relationship because you've come from divorce, you've come from bad examples of love, and you don't know what to do. Self-indulgence is telling you that you need to focus on you. You need to love you, date you, go out and get a coffee for just yourself. Go watch a movie by yourself if you want to, go shopping by yourself and spend all that money on yourself, do shadow work. If there's something that's been hurting you, examine it. Sometimes things don't bother us until one day they pop up. Maybe it's time to do that work for yourself. Time to heal, appreciate you. Self-worth, because you're worthy, right? You need to remind yourself you are worthy of letting these anxieties go, of sharing. Maybe that's what the Six of Gems is. Share your anxiety. Let them know what's on your mind. Palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. So a palm tree withstands winds. They're used to being in tropical locations, right? So maybe this is you. Maybe you've always been this palm tree. I've always been stable and secure. I've always been flexible. I've endured. And I've stayed here, and I've still grown despite all of it, Maybe this is you. Or maybe this is what your person is too. Maybe this is both of you guys. One of you needs to focus on yourself. One of you is just a very stable person. Maybe that's how you feel, that one of you needs to heal and one of you has it all together. Maybe this is your advice to be like a palm tree. Learn to be stable. Learn to be secure. Maybe this card is just an overall card for your relationship. Maybe it is secure and stable and permanent. You guys can grow together and endure. You guys are flexible, and all you need to do is open up and say, look, I have something in the past that I need to go over with you. I have, some past hurt that I haven't gotten over and I thought I did. I need some time to myself. I'm gonna go stay at my grandma's for a week. Like, whatever it might be here. There's no perfect or single right answer. You just have to, again, always read the cards yourself, listen to what I say, and take and leave what you think applies to you. Maybe you need to forgive yourself or somebody or some past situation. But the cards are telling you to not let your past hold you back. So if you've had a bad breakup that's keeping you from enjoying a new relationship and finding love again, it's time to say, I'm moving on and I'm not letting it, keep me down anymore. You need to write down your blessings and remember how much good you have in your life. And at the end of the day, you need to fill your own cup. Maybe you really just need to drink some water, So pile number 2, maybe it's been kind of rough, but I see things getting better. If you've been in your head a lot with anxiety about something or somebody, the cards are telling you it's time to talk about it. Maybe you just need to write it down. A friend of mine gave me good advice and said, if there's somebody that has hurt you in the past, and obviously you don't want to talk to this person, but you can't get over it, maybe write a poem about it, and then you just keep it for yourself. You can burn it if you want to, or you can just keep it and just write it down and use it to your own advantage. Create power out of your hurt. Have a difficult conversation and rebuild that side of your tower bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Okay, so in your love life, I see peace. I see emotional stability. I see emotional fulfillment here. I see contentment. And it might be one hard conversation away, but it's gonna be okay, So thank you so much for being here with me today. Go ahead and listen to that song, Strictly Reserved for You, by Charles Bradley. Maybe that is your song to this person. Maybe that is their song to you. So if you've been having feelings like, do they even like me? Yes, they do. You're their person, they're waiting for you. If they have been wondering, do you like me? Maybe you need to let them know, I love you, and I've had these things on my mind, So this has been a wonderful reading. The Tower card can be scary to have pop out, but in this instance, it's just telling me you need to rebuild. The Tower with the Eight of Pentacles, that's just, you need to rebuild something. It doesn't mean the entire thing. It means part of it. So yes, good luck. Let me know how things go. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in a future reading. And I'm happy for you reaching your emotional stability in calmer waters. It's going to be wonderful. Have a good rest of your day or evening wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. There, pile 3. If you chose the Dandelion blush or highlighter, then this is your reading. So this reading is going to be all about love. We're asking what is currently going on in your love life. And we got the Artist and the 7 of Pentacles. The Artist is a special card just to this deck. I see it as kind of a manifestation card. You're imagining maybe the relationship you want to have. You're imagining, maybe you're even picturing things as beautiful and perfect. You're seeing things through rose-colored glasses currently. Maybe at the same time, you're imagining what it'll be like once it's here, once it's ready. Maybe you're currently single. And with the 7 of Pentacles, maybe you're a little impatient and you're like, well, I'm watering these things. I'm caring for my garden. I'm pruning, I'm tending, I'm watering, I'm fertilizing everything. And it's not ready to pick yet. Well, maybe it's just not, 7 of Pentacles is always just like be patient and be consistent and continue doing what you're doing. I see maybe you are doing all the right things. Maybe you feel that way. You're like, I shower every day and I wash my hair every day and I put on my makeup every day and I wear all my best clothes and I always have nice smelling perfume. And you're like, I'm doing all the things they tell you to do that attract somebody who's supposed to like you, right? And these cards are telling you like you're doing well, painting this beautiful picture of who you are, and deciding what you want in a relationship is wonderful. Tending to your garden and watering what you have and fertilizing and letting it grow as big as it can get. That is, those are the good things to do. That's the right thing to do. So I would say where you are currently, you're just maybe in a budding stage. You're building yourself up to be the perfect partner, or maybe they are, or maybe you are both, maybe in the stage of you're waiting to be official, you're waiting to get that proposal. Maybe you're waiting to get married. I'm feeling like this is waiting for the next stage, and so you're in this planning stage, this designing stage. What we have happening next is Temperance and the Empress. So I love the Temperance card. Anytime it comes out, I'm like, yes. It came out for you and I was like, yes. So what's happening next for your love life? You're gonna have equal give and take. You're gonna have peace, tranquility. I'm hearing, it's gonna be like sitting at the beach at sunset with beautiful even water, just gently rocking, just how you like, and it's just going to be a beautiful equal give and take partnership. You're the Empress, so your intuition is on point. You know what you want, and so you go after it, right? Your advice is the 10 of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So maybe you need to be the Knight of Cups, right? Or maybe this is telling you someone is coming in, this Knight of Cups. Someone's coming in with a love message, or you need to approach someone with a message of love. With the 10 of Swords, your advice might be to get back up again. If you've been previously heartbroken, maybe you're going through a heartbreak. Maybe that's what all this Artist with 7 of Pentacles is you've gotten out of a relationship and you're like, well, that was terrible and that's not what I want, and I have to picture what I want out of life now. I have to decide what pentacles I'm actually going to water and which ones I'm going to let dry up and shrivel and die so I can dispose of them. With the 10 of Swords, you've clearly been hurt before, or maybe this is just advice to you to say, if you are someone who's never dated before and you're nervous, right? You very well may get your heart broken, but for every, sword that's in your back, there's going to be someone who's 10 times more wonderful. This Knight of Cups person might be someone who's coming in, and maybe you're young, maybe they're young, and they're saying like, look, I can't offer you a throne. You know, I can't offer you the king of cups type of love, but right now I'm a knight and I have this offer, this declaration of love. And, you know, I'm not a page. I know that I love you and I know that we can build on this. And yeah, so your advice, I'm telling you to get back up again. You know, if you have been hurt, you need to heal from it. Maybe your advice is to answer this declaration of love that you've left hanging in the air. Maybe you are supposed to be the one to make this message clearer and, you know, give to somebody else. Hey, by the way, I have feelings for you. I've been waiting patiently, and you know, I have gotten to know you and I really like you and I want to get to know you more. You know, that could totally be what we're doing over here. And then we have your message cards. For songs, you got two. We got Landslide by Fleetwood Mac and Some Unholy War by Amy Winehouse. So both of these songs to me immediately, unfortunately, make me think of substance abuse, because Landslide is about, you know, being in love with someone, maybe struggling with addiction in the process. Fleetwood Mac as a band struggled as a whole. That entire first album, you know, that made their whole career, almost broke them at the same time. And maybe there's someone in the past that got you to that 10 of Swords where you felt like, you know, I will never be the same without you. Like, I've grown up and built this person that I am around you. You know, maybe that's really what it is. That Seven of Pentacles is you looking at all these things you've been watering this whole time and going, oh my God, I've done all this with them in mind. And, you know, where has it gotten me? With Some Unholy War, this is Amy Winehouse saying, I'm standing by my man no matter what. He could be awful. Essentially, he could be on the wrong side of the war and I'd still be there for him. And maybe that was you in the past. Maybe that is you in the present. And if it is, you know, all I'm going to say is never let your discernment be clouded by, you know, warm, fuzzy feelings. Someone who loves you and who you love and should devote your time and attention in life to shouldn't make you feel like you'll stand by them even if they're evil, awful, tearing people apart. So with Landslide, with this, maybe you had some codependent relationship in the past and you're thinking, I don't want to have that again. Or maybe your advice is to do things differently than you did in the past. Don't chase the same people you chased before. Maybe you have an ex that keeps popping up and you need to ignore this ex. Maybe they come in with declarations all the time and you need to ignore them. These cards did come out separately. They're not explaining one another. So maybe this is two different pieces of advice. Heal yourself from this past relationship so that you can be ready for a new one to come in, okay? Your message cards are, I'm keeping tabs on you. So maybe you literally have an ex that does this. They watch you on social media. They ask about you through mutual friends. They go by your old work, you know, they talk to your mom. You know, sometimes people keep in touch with their ex's parents. Some weird stuff like that can totally be happening for you. You're the reason I drink or drank. This could be you or them still. Maybe you're keeping tabs on them and maybe you drink to forget about them, but it makes you think about them more. Maybe they used to do that about you, or they still do. Maybe that was your past relationship. It was so bad that you started using substances to try and numb the feelings. I think I made you up, and you put a curse on me. So this to me is one of two things. You're so perfect that I think I made you up. I feel like I manifested you. This could also mean someone kind of came and went so quickly from your life that you almost feel like you're the one that made them up. Anytime you've brought them up, someone goes, who? What do you mean? Who are you talking about? And you're like, what do you mean? Who am I talking about? He was right there. It was real, you know? Maybe it's something like this. I've had a situation like that where I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean who? We worked alongside him for months, you know? Yeah, maybe you have a situation where people are almost gaslighting you about something for some weird reason. You put a curse on me. Maybe you feel obsessed. Maybe that's where this some unholy war, maybe there's someone that you became so attached to, you feel like they cursed you, and like the only reason they're on your mind still to this day is because they put some sort of spell onto you. For your self-care cards, we got massage. We have connect with your womb. So maybe you need to pay, if you're somebody who has a period, a menstrual cycle, maybe you need to pay attention to it. Maybe you need to listen to your gut when you get butterflies and you get nervous about things. And you need to pay attention that that's not a good sign. If this person gives you butterflies, that's not a good sign, you know? We have massage. Maybe you have built up trauma in your body that needs to be worked on by a professional, and you need to get that out of you. Maybe you have a crick in your neck that's been hurting you for months and you don't know why, and it's stress, baby. It's these 10 of swords that you're not taking out of your back. You know, it's this obsessive thinking about somebody who's not right for you. It's this unhealthy pattern that you're learning to get rid of, but you're unsure of how to go about. And then for your moon cards, we have last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude, and nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. So I truly feel this is painting a story about at least 2 people from your love life. I think there's an ex or someone from the past who has hurt you, whether they know it or not, and then someone from the future who wants to come in, or the universe wants to send to you, but the path is not clear quite yet. Nothing will come of the situation with this past person that's already hurt you, or maybe you hurt each other. Whatever the case is, I don't care who hurt who. Don't get back with them. Stop thinking about them. Write it down, throw it away. You know, if you keep perseverating over something that didn't work, maybe that's even what this is. Maybe on the one hand, you've been trying to build up something new, and then on the other hand, you keep looking back at the past and imagining what it would be like if it was perfect and still progressing into something more, right? But I'm seeing here this ex, this past person, this somebody who broke your heart that you wonder about all the time. Nothing will come of it, and it's a good thing because it keeps you in this bad energy you don't want to be in with these 2 song cards. Landslide is less, it's, to me, it's more like maybe you had this first relationship or your first really big love, and you're like, I don't know how to move past it. I've never felt that way before, but you can't be so stuck up in it that you end up with some unholy war energy. You know, I would do anything for this person who terrorized me, you know, like that is a trauma bond. That is not good. Amy and Blake together were a nightmare. You don't want to be that. So don't go back to your ex. Learn to move on. Go to therapy. Write down your thoughts. Don't reach out. If they reach out to you, don't respond, okay? Because nothing's going to come of it, and it's just going to make things worse, honestly. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. You need to count your blessings. The last pile had make a gratitude list. Maybe you need to do that as well. I'm thankful for this. These are the things that I have in my life. These are the things that I have accomplished on my own. I'm so grateful for XYZ. Putting yourself into this state of being grateful and knowing what abundance you have leaves you, you know, first of all, it raises your vibration, and it leaves you open and available to receive Knight of Cups. The path is open to them, you know. You have to open it for them. You have to take the swords out of your back, sit up, and be ready for these people to come in for you. We have your 2 love oracle cards. Welcoming love, meeting the one. Open your heart, getting together. Perfect. See, I didn't even read this card. I'm sorry. I'll admit here, I shuffle the cards. A lot of the time I try to go over them a little bit, but especially when it comes to these message cards that speak for themselves, I don't always go over them before I start. And this just further proves to me that there's someone new that the universe wants to send to you. And this is the person. Heart with a key, dude. They have the key to your heart, but you're not willing to see it, maybe. You're not willing to move on from this past love that put a curse on you. Maybe this person, I think I made you up. Maybe that's going to be this new person. They're so good. They're so wonderful. You think you've made them up. You think they're not even real. It's a new love. It's the one. So open your heart and be ready to get together because they are perfect for you and you're perfect for them. And then you have Hand of Cards. Take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, gambling. So, excuse me, maybe someone did this with you. Maybe that's that past person. They took a gamble on you. They had options and you were just one of them. They weren't honest with what they were doing. Maybe they were dating around. Oh my goodness, haven't we all been there? Maybe they were dating around and seeing multiple people and just assumed you must be doing the same, but you weren't. And in the end, you were hurt because you really, really liked them, but they just were interested in you, At the same time, on the flip side, this could be telling you to take a chance, take a risk. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change. And break away. So like maybe you need to break away from that mentality. Be free as a butterfly. Like do you. Maybe you had a past relationship. God, there's just always people, right? Some people are just so rotten and they'll tell you no one's ever gonna love you like I do. No one's ever gonna think you're beautiful because you're not. Oh, you think that you're so hot? Well, I only, keep you around because blah, 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 So, excuse me, if you have had someone be rotten or vile, say these awful things to you in the past, they're not true. Someone wonderful is coming in for you. And Temperance and the Empress, these are probably the most beautiful cards. You and pile 1 had really beautiful piles so far. What's coming next in your love life is just a beautiful piece, a beautiful even give and take. You are going to be the Empress. You are the Empress. You just need to let yourself be. Don't let someone take off your beautiful crown. Don't let someone tell you you're less than what you are. Allow this Knight of Cups to come in. I think you have a new person coming in for you. The Knight of Cups for me is almost always either a new declaration of love, like going a further step deeper into your feelings for each other, or it's somebody new coming in. So if there's an ex you've had your mind on, forget them, fuck them. Don't literally, but forget them. If there's this new person coming in, they can't come in until you're ready. You can't accept them until you're ready. If you hold on to this past person until the very last moment and now you're crying and snotty in the face and look a mess right as this new Knight of Cups, right as they gallop on in, bad timing. So get on ready to be the Empress. With this Artist card, plan out what you want to be, what you want to look like, what you want to be wearing that day. Manifest the beginning, manifest this beauty, this beautiful relationship, this beautiful person. Pile number 3, I see good things happening for you. I see you healing over something from the past, and that's okay. Baby steps. But don't go back to this past person. They don't seem good for you, okay? If someone, maybe they struggled with substances, maybe you did, maybe it's something you struggled with together. I could go on and on, but I won't. You're strong, you're beautiful. You've been working on things for yourself, and they are coming to a point where you're almost ready to harvest. You just need to heal from past hurt and be ready to accept this new offer of love coming in for you. I've enjoyed reading for you. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what has resonated. And yeah, I hope to see you in a future reading. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Brown number 4. If you chose the Hula Bronzer, then this is your reading. Today's reading is focusing on love. I asked what your current love life is looking like, and the card that popped out first is the Queen of Swords, followed by the Ace of Swords. So perhaps you've had something on your mind. Perhaps you've just recently brought up something that's been bothering you. Okay, I'm seeing maybe with this Ace of Swords, it could be an ultimatum. It could be you saying, look, I'm done, pretending I'm okay with this. It's gonna go this way, or it's done. Or, like, this is you confronting a situation and going, we need to change here. The Queen of Swords can be somebody who, is sharp-tongued, right? Think of a sword as a tongue. She's intellectual. A past card got the King of Swords. So in that card, it's depicting the king has all of the thoughts of what he wants to say in his head. So maybe you as the queen, you know what you want to say, and perhaps you've just said it, you perhaps maybe said something in a very sharp way with the Ace of Swords. Maybe you're currently going through a fight of some kind, also, like I said, it could be some ultimatum. Maybe you have someone, a situationship, we'll say, who you've been casually seeing, and you can tell that things have been getting more serious, for instance, and you've decided, okay, I'm going to tell them I actually want a relationship with them, and they can take it or leave it. And, you're just being straightforward about something here, okay? And this is your current energy. Whatever it is, you're currently saying, this is how it's going to go. This is my proposition to you. Your Ace of Swords, this is your offer. You've thought it out, you've laid down the cards for yourself, and you're offering it now. And then when I see what's happening next, we have the Justice card and the Nine of Pentacles. So justice will be had. If you are saying to the situationship, for instance, as an example, I can tell that you have feelings for me. I'm telling you right now, I have feelings for you. We're either going to be together or we're not. Maybe this is them going, okay, you're right, and now you are Nine of Pentacles, abundant. You have what you want. It's just followed by all these pentacles. Your advice here is Queen of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles. So I would say, Miss or Mr. Queen of Swords, you're getting your point across. You're speaking clearly, directly. You know what you want. You're laying it out on the table. You're making that offer, and you're going to get, I believe, what you want. Justice out of the situation. You're going to get this could be totally a legal battle. Maybe your love life has been dealing with some sort of like divorce, and you're going, I'm ready to divorce you, and you get your way, maybe you get the better end of the deal. And the way that you get to this part with justice in the Nine of Pentacles is by continuing your work, being consistent, watering your things, pruning as you go. With the card under this, right, the Seven of Pentacles, he's looking at his garden like, when is it going to be ready? But this one, he's not looking at his garden wondering when it's going to be ready. He's just steadily working along because he knows it'll be ready when it's ready. He's building up, his beautiful masterpiece here. And then the Queen of Pentacles, she doesn't worry about what anyone else has. She has everything she needs. She's the queen, right? You're abundant. You have it all. Maybe this is your single era where you are on top of it and you've got everything that you want and need, and you've been working towards this for a long time. Maybe this is, you, after you're in this wonderful relationship, after you've laid your cards on the table and said, this is what I want, maybe you get that and now you feel abundant. You feel like the queen. You've got it all, For your oracle cards and your song card, we're going to go over the song card first. You got Pretty Boy by The Neighborhood. As long as I've got you, I'm going to be all right. And if it's all over, I'm taking this moment with me. So yeah, again, this could be unfortunately a divorce, but I see it as a happy thing. This is you saying this is what you want. You're laying out your offer, and you're getting justice from the situation, and you're getting abundance from the situation, and you come out, the advice isn't telling you this is how you get to the queen. The advice is saying stay as this queen. So you already are a hard worker that continues to build without worrying about what other people are doing. So continue to do that. If this is a divorce or a breakup of some kind, continue to do what you're doing. Just put in your hard work. Be abundant. Maybe there's somebody that is with you along the way. I have God, I love my boys and pretty boys. So maybe there's kids. Maybe you have kids, and maybe they're boys. Maybe you're trying to win a custody battle, and I see that working in your favor, whether that means the dad or the partner. I don't want to be gender specific here. Whether that means the other person gets partial custody or not, I see things regardless working out further in your favor. Okay? Sooner than you think. So whatever thing has been this battle, this argument, this dilemma, this ultimatum, it's going to be over sooner than you think. You're going to get justice sooner than you think, in abundance. If you're a single person, right, and you go through life knowing exactly what you want, this is going to benefit you, because you are still going to get to justice. You're going to get what you want. You were very clear. Look, I have a sword. Do you want this sword? Here's the sword. The consistency here is just kind of telling me, like, you're assured, you know what you want, and that's how you get what you want. It doesn't have to be, some sort of divorce or breakup or separation. Maybe you're somebody who kind of comes off sharp-tongued, and your advice here is to be more down to earth. And it doesn't mean what you're offering here is wrong or bad, but maybe you need to go about it in a slightly more mellow way, earthy way, instead of, well, you're supposed to marry me because I know we're supposed to be together. You can say, I have strong feelings for you. Would you like to build something with me? So yeah, these could go different ways. As long as I've got you, I'm going to be all right. Maybe there is somebody in your life that makes you feel that way. Like, even when the world is crumbling apart, as long as they're there next to you, you have enough, and you have what you want and need out of life. I see you, and all of a sudden I'm in Paris. So maybe there's somebody that just makes you feel that way, that makes you feel like you're on vacation, like you're in, your happy place. You look at them and you're all of a sudden transported somewhere else entirely, where it's just you two. I never want to be without you, yet here I am. So maybe you are in separation from somebody right now. Maybe this is you finally saying, look, I miss you. The separation's not working for me. Let's get back together. God, I love my boys could be that too. Maybe it's you, like, well, we had a fight. We separated for a couple of weeks, but I've come to the realization that I love my person. I love this person. I want to be with them. I never want to be without them. And here I am, and it sucks. And now I want to be with you, and you're going to have justice. You just have to say it. Say it. Say what's on your mind, For your self-care cards, we have make an altar, and we have rest. Maybe you've been neglecting your rest. Maybe you've been in your head about all these things happening with the swords. Maybe you really have gone through a separation, a divorce, just a time of really being in your head, anxious. Maybe, like pile 2 did, and maybe you need to watch that pile as well. Maybe you just have to have a difficult conversation, and you're very stressed out about having a conversation, because we don't always want to rock the boat. We don't always want to bring things up, but sometimes, we have to be honest. If something bothers us, we have to be honest. If we're not getting what we want out of a relationship, but we want to work on it. So we need to say this. We need to make the effort. Nothing is going to get better unless you try first, you know? Don't make any rash decisions until you've put in the work, you know? You can't say, well, this isn't working out if you've never tried to fix something, you know? For make an altar, maybe you do need to, it doesn't have to be a literal altar. Maybe it does. Maybe you need to, you know, if you're religious, maybe you do need an altar of some kind of all your religious things. Maybe if you're spiritual, you just need some incense and some crystals and a place to go meditate, you know, whatever the case may be. This could also just be maybe you need to decorate. I'm hearing you don't have a lot of personal decor up in your home or at your office, maybe in your room, someplace where it'll make you happy to be there every day. Your moon cards, last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. Maybe things have been difficult. We have that Queen of Swords and Ace of Swords coming out. Maybe, I don't want to say you've been a bitch, but the cards might be saying that. I don't know. Maybe someone's being a bitch, you know? I don't know. Maybe we've been a little bit harsh, a little bit. Maybe we said something we didn't mean to say, or we said something in a way we shouldn't have. Maybe our points are valid, but the words we used were a little bit mean. You know, maybe you need to apologize for something, you know? Maybe this Ace of Swords was a sharp-tongued comment, and you need to bring justice into the situation by apologizing. Maybe they need to apologize and you need to request that apology. Emotions are running high. You got 2 cards here. Emotions are running high and believe in the impossible. Once in a blue moon, right? So blue moons happen, well, very rare. That's why we say once in a blue moon. And then emotions are running high, super moon. Maybe you said something and you're thinking there's no coming back from that. And maybe emotions were running high. You said something out of passion. You said something out of hurt feelings. And you're thinking, wow, they're never going to forgive me. Maybe you need to believe in the impossible. Maybe at the same time, you all of a sudden feel strongly towards somebody you never felt a strong feeling towards before. And all of a sudden, it's coming at you and you're like, they're not going to feel the same way. Maybe they will. Maybe you need to believe in the impossible here. Maybe things can work out. Maybe you had an argument and you think it's over and all you have to do is, you know, go forward and have a conversation and realize that you're okay. Everything's fine. You just need to talk it out. We have passion down here, insane chemistry, like each other equally, having fun. And followed by engagement ring, engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. So, yeah, I mean, I feel less and less as we get through all these oracle cards. This might not be someone, maybe it is someone you did have a falling out with or breakup with or something, but more so this is someone where maybe there is, you know, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of love, and so where there's a lot of big feelings in one place, there's a lot of big feelings in another place. So maybe something happened and it made you very upset because you really love this person and you would never have expected them to do something that upset you. Okay? Maybe maybe you with the emotions are running high and believe in the impossible and lighten up, right? Maybe your emotions got the best of you and you've been worried, Queen of Swords, with in your head, with anxiety, wondering if everything's going to be okay, if you're still going to work out. And we have engagement ring here. We have passion here. You guys still love each other. You have an intense chemistry. You probably both feel the same way. As long as I have you, it's going to be fine. You know, maybe you've had that feeling a couple times before. Well, if this is it, if we're breaking up, at least I knew this person, at least they loved me, you know? So, and you could, like I said, you could be going through a breakup, but more so I feel like this is a hard conversation that needs to be had, or an argument that happened that just needs an apology. You just need to sort it all out, because look at all this abundance we have. There's justice in this situation. There's abundance in this situation. You are the Queen of Pentacles, and you're just being asked to continue putting in your consistent hard work and building your big, beautiful sculpture of pentacles here. Yeah, there's somebody that makes you feel like you're just in your favorite place, or they're your happy place, or you're their happy place. Maybe you have kids together and they're your whole world, you know? Maybe there's going to be resolution sooner than you think, you know? Maybe you are at a separation right now, but you're going to be coming together again. One or both of you need to maybe apologize, but with your love oracle cards being passion and engagement ring, you know, I see this relationship here enduring. So if you're someone who had a bad breakup maybe in the past, or you, you know, maybe you both did, maybe you're both divorced and this is your first big relationship since going through that. And so this is you laying out everything on the table. I don't deal with this, I don't deal with that, so what do you say? And you know, they're like, okay, you know, I accept. You're saying my kids are my life, and they said mine too. You know, I never wanted to be single, I never thought I would be. They're like, yeah, same, I'm not really that kind of person, but my kids are my life, you know. You have really positive cards here. I think there's just maybe, yeah, just a hard conversation that needs to be had, an apology that needs to be said. But laying out your cards and saying how you feel and what you want and what you expect is the perfect start of a relationship, you know? It starts with swords and, you know, maybe sharp words, maybe an argument even, but it's full of logic and good points. And we have abundance. We have a really stable foundation that continues to build to something more, and it continues to get bigger and bigger. Pile number 4, this has been your love reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope whatever relationship's coming in for you, or whatever relationship it is that you're working on and building, I hope it's just as beautiful as it looks here in these cards. You have abundance waiting for you in love, maybe literal material abundance you're building with somebody, and all you have to do is continue to be consistent. I think maybe you need to speak your mind, you know, with the Queen of Swords, and that's how you get to your justice here. Just make sure to be lighthearted sometimes, to still have fun, to remind, if you've been having difficult conversations with somebody, remind them you love them. Remind yourself to get rest. And if you're in the process of the, you know, building up to the next stage of a relationship, then good luck to you. It can be stressful, so maybe you're feeling that kind of impending doom sort of stress, but it's a good stress, you know, it's a good impending feeling coming on, you know. So yes, this is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what resonated with you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.